The state, the government, literally does absolutely nothing. They're not doing anything. They're not implementing or executing things. It's not even a real entity. It's not people. It's just a name. It's a made up name, right? So there's people behind the state and the government. Those people are the negative service to self oriented beings who claim themselves to be a masterclass and to enslave all the rest of humanity. So when people vote politically and actually think that there is a group of people that are basically going to just deal with everybody's problems, deal with all the operational logistics of all of life, and decide for you how you're going to live your life, or else, it's such a massive delusion. In fact, I just think it's more so that people have never actually personally worked on a project themselves and seen how the reality of project management works, okay? I have more than a decade of experience in working on massive global projects, from strategy to execution, meaning from the beginning of when it was just an idea to seeing it through to the physical end product, like physically manifest in the world, okay? Throughout that entire process, there is no state or government involved. It's all done by people. The only thing that the state and government is involved in is them regulating you, forcing you to do things a certain way, punishing you if you don't do it in a particular way that they wanted you to do it. For what purpose? Just because they say so, right? For the amount of money, how much you should get paid for it, and those things. They dictate the terms, but they're not doing anything. It is real people doing things. And from experience, I can tell you that people, real people like you and me, not only do we want to do things, we want to have contribution in the world, we want to make a difference, we are generous, we are kind, we are helpful beings. We can do it, not only still do it without a state and tyrannical psychopaths forcing us how we're going to do it and punishing us for any given other thing, not telling them that we did it, not asking for their permission, right? Ask for their permission to do everything. Why? Why would you need to ask someone permission to do something that's completely, has zero impact on negatively imposing your will against somebody else, which, as I said, is a universal law? Man-made law in itself is completely obsolete. It has absolutely no, if it is in alignment with universal law, which it is not, but if it was, it would be obsolete. You wouldn't need man-made law because people would live by the law of the universe. But it's not. Man-made law is completely subjective, depending on which country you're in, depending on who's in, quote, in the position of power and so on, and they just get to decide. It's just a human being or a group of human beings getting to dictate and decide how you're going to live your life, and then to force you to live that way and to make you ask permission to do basically anything and everything. How people actually think that that's something that's good or useful is beyond me. I've never voted in my life. I'm super happy about that. I've never ever looked at the world as like someone has to give me permission as to how I'm going to live my life. And guess what? I'm a good, honest, decent human being. I've achieved a lot in my life. I've helped a lot of people in my life. I've done a lot of work in my life and continue to do so. I don't need anybody whipping me to tell me that, get something done, right? So what I'm saying, as well as like moving forward into a conscious civilization, right? Without voting, without a masterclass, without a slave class, when everybody has mutual respect for one another, the most basic foundation of what that means is we all respect everybody's right to literally be alive and live their lives. That is like a basic foundation of mutual respect. Every life you see here has a right to be alive. There's no NPCs, there's no background people, there's no this horrible things that people call themselves other people because they want to call themselves chosen ones. Well, the only thing you've got to ask yourself is, how does that make you treat other people? How does it make you treat the people that you claim to be non-character players or, background people? If it means you're going to treat them inhumanely, then reconsider that. And understand that all life here, because it already is here and exists, has every right to be here and exist. and you do not have any right to impose your will against anyone else. Neither does a made-up fictional entity such as the state or government. It doesn't have the right. There's no right there. It's human beings accepting a story, believing in a story, all collectively together, and therefore allowing it to happen. That's all it is. And the moment humanity no longer allows that to happen and instead collaborates together and continues to do projects like they already do now without a tyrannical psychopath whipping them, telling them how they're going to do it. There are people, I know so many people, I'm sure you do as well, they are literally like dying for, desperate for, to just contribute to the world in their way, to live their purpose, like I live my purpose, and to just do it freely with their autonomy. I know so many people like this that are just like, you know what, fuck this weird, stupid dream, what they call the American dream, or building my career ladder, getting ahead and all that. I just want to, build houses. I just want to, brick by brick, I want to build beautiful houses for people. I want to help people get out of poverty and that. And you'll hear lots of different stories like that. People want to do these things. We want to live with purpose and contribute and be generous and all these things. Enforcing rules onto each other, because every time with this whole political thing, you're always like, well, I vote for this person because they're going to enforce the things that I want them to enforce too, but somebody else is at the same time voting for things that they want to be enforced onto. So you're still forcing on each other. It's still force. It's still breaking the number one rule of the universe, which is you do not enforce yourself onto anybody else. It does not work like this. This is why it's never worked, and this is why we continue to have a horrific slave planet. The moment people stop putting their literal lives into other people's hands to decide for them, and you calling yourself, literally you are affirming and confirming, I am indeed a slave and I need other people, I need my masters to tell me how to live. The moment you realize that that's an illusion, that there is nobody that can do that, that entire system is literally going against universal law. It goes against the truth. And that's why we all collectively are enslaved, because collectively everybody is immoral when they do that. When they vote, when they believe in a state, when they believe in enforcement. All right? But when we all collectively, the more of us become collectively moral, the more we will actually experience a free existence, an existence with autonomy, an existence with beauty and vibrancy and so on. But that's why masses matter. Masses matter. So the state, the government, has never done anything that is good. It has never done anything that is allowing you to live a thriving life. I mean, look, today, literally people cannot afford, no one can afford to live. Your whole life you slave away just so you can afford a roof over your head and food in your stomach and a bed to sleep at night. You really just got to start there to realise that it's a fucked up system.